Hi Tigers, welcome back to Miss Nick's Math Lab. We have an extra special edition today because we are actually going to be practicing our test taking strategies to make sure we are ready for our Friday assessment that is coming up on place value. So today's test taking strategies that we're going to go over, we have two of them. The first one we're going to practice is for when we see questions that ask us to select all that apply. This is a common question type that you'll see on your tests, and it's a tricky one that usually gets us mixed up and causes us to get some wrong. So today we're going to practice the things that we can do to help make sure that we get all of these questions right in the future. The first thing we want to always do is mark up our page. So we read our question. Which numbers round to 3,200 when rounded to the nearest hundred? So I've circled the number that I'm working with. I have underlined the place value that they're asking me to round to, and now I'm identifying the question they're asking. They're basically saying, which of these answer choices, once we've rounded it to the hundreds place, would give us the answer of 3,200. We're kind of working backwards. Now, because they've said select all that apply, this keyword all is a major hint that there's probably more than one correct answer. Even if there isn't, we want to check all of them to make sure we're confident that we didn't leave any stone unturned or any correct question uncircled. So I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to round each and every answer choice to the 100. So I'm 100% confident in my answer. When I am rounding these, I first circle the place I'm rounding to. So I circle my hundreds place for each option, and then I put an arrow over the helper that is helping me round. 0 is 4 or less, so that means I'm going to let this rest, and my answer is 3,000. 4 is 4 or less, so my 2 is going to rest, and my rounded answer is 3,200. 6 is 4, 5 or more, so that means I need to raise the score. That means my 1 is going to turn into what? What is my 1 turning into? Well, if this 6 is telling me to raise the score, it's going to be a 2. Very good. So the 3 stays the same, the 1 is now a 2, and everything after it is a 0. Our last step is to round our final answer choice. Our 0 is 4 or less. I need to let it rest. That means my 2 is resting at a 2. So 3,200. Now I just need to check my answer choices and see which one matches what I was looking for. The answer goal that I was trying to reach was 3,200. This one equaled 3,000, so it's not A, but B was 3,200, C was 3,200, and D was 3,200. So my answers for this kind of question would be B, C, and D. If I only were to circle B and C, but I left off D, I would get this incorrect on my test. It would get marked wrong because I didn't choose all that apply. So please watch out for that very key, important word. The next thing we're going to do is a different type of test-taking strategy. So we are actually going to turn the page, and instead of selecting all that apply, we are going to work backwards to now find a missing number. I like to think of this as being a number detective. There will be questions you will see that will look like this, and it will ask you to find the missing digit. When you see a question asking you to find the missing digit, we've got to work backwards like sneaky little detectives to figure out who kidnapped our number and what number it should be. The biggest piece of advice I have for a question like this is to solve it as if they didn't give you an answer. Work through it one step at a time and then see what you get. Because if you were to just try and look at this and guess what number fits there, you're going to get yourself very confused. For example, for this one, if I just looked at this column and said 0 minus what is 4, well, I'm going to be scratching my head for quite a while trying to figure out what I need to take away from 0 to equal positive 4. It's impossible. I can't do it. So I need to follow all of my steps and make sure I'm not skipping any corners. Now, I am going to solve each of these one column at a time using my standard algorithm, my standard steps for subtraction. 9 minus 9 is 0. They already did it. That's great. 5 minus 7. Well, I can't do 5 minus 7 because 5 is smaller than 7. So I'm going to turn the 5 into 15. And now 15 minus 7 is equal to 8, so I know I've done that correctly. Because I turned the 5 into 15, I regrouped. So that turns my 7 into a 6. 6 minus 5 is 1, so I'm still on the right track. 9 minus 6 is 3, so I'm still going strong. But now I'm over here at my 0. And again, I have that question. 0 minus what is 4? But I know if I'm trying to subtract anything from the number 0, I can't do it. It's too small. So I'm going to have to regroup no matter what. So I'm going to turn this into a 10. My 4 turns into a 3. And now I subtract as normal. 10 minus what is 4? Well, if I do the math, 10 minus 6 is going to equal 4. And then just to make sure I'm on the right track, I finish it up. 3 minus 1 is 2. That matches, that works. So I am super confident that my missing number was 6. Please, please, please practice these strategies at home. Do not skip corners on your test, and I promise if you use these strategies to their fullest, you will do awesome on your next exam. Please, please, please practice, and as usual, ask me if you have any questions at all. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you later, Tigers.